Australia is roughly the same size as the continental United States. But only 26 million people live there. Most of the interior is uninhabitable desert. The outback. Despite that, Australia has a GDP per capita of over $65,000. It went 30 years without a recession. The longest streak of any developed economy in history. Until COVID broke it. So how did a vast, empty, scorching continent with barely any people become one of the richest countries on Earth? It starts underground. Australia sits on one of the most mineral-rich geological formations on the planet. Iron ore, coal, gold, lithium, uranium, rare earths. The ground beneath Australia is worth trillions. Australia is the world's largest exporter of iron ore. It produces about half of the global supply. Almost all of it goes to China, where it becomes the steel that builds Chinese cities. The mining sector alone accounts for about 14% of Australia's GDP and over 60% of total exports. When iron ore prices rise, Australia gets richer. When China builds, Australia profits. Then there's natural gas. Australia is now one of the world's largest LNG exporters, rivaling Qatar. Coal, despite controversies, still generates enormous export revenue. The ground keeps giving. Australia's modern wealth story is inseparable from China. When China began its massive urbanization in the 2000s, it needed raw materials, mountains of them, and Australia had exactly what China needed. About 35% of all Australian exports go to China. Iron ore, coal, natural gas, agricultural products. This single trade relationship powered Australia through the global financial crisis of 2008 almost unscathed. But that dependence is also a risk. When political tensions with China rise, Australia's economy feels it immediately. Diversifying away from China has become a national priority. Australia isn't just rocks and minerals. It's also a massive agricultural producer. Beef, wheat, wool, wine. Australian farms cover an area larger than all of Western Europe combined. Australia is the world's largest wool producer and a top 5 beef exporter. Vast cattle stations in the outback can be larger than small European countries. One station, Anna Creek, is bigger than Israel. With so few people on so much land, immigration has been critical. About 30% of Australians were born overseas. The country has one of the most selective immigration systems in the world. Australia uses a points-based system that prioritizes skilled workers, doctors, engineers, IT professionals. This selective approach brings in the talent the economy needs without the political backlash seen in other countries. International education is also a massive export. Over 700,000 international students study in Australia each year, making education the country's 4th largest export, bigger than beef. Australia also has one of the most robust financial systems in the world. Its 4 major banks survived the 2008 crisis without a single bailout. The only major developed country where that happened. The country's compulsory superannuation system forces every employer to put money into retirement accounts. Australia's pension pool is now over $3.5 trillion, 4th largest in the world. So how did Australia become a resource giant with so few people? Geology gave it minerals. China gave it a buyer. Agriculture fed the world. Immigration brought the talent. And strong institutions kept it stable. Australia is proof that you don't need a huge population to build a huge economy. You need what's under the ground. who's above it, and the institutions to connect the two. And Australia got all three right.